People think that intimacy is about sex, but intimacy is about truth. When you realize you can tell someone your truth, when you can show yourself to them, when you stand in front of them bare and their response is, "You're safe with me," that's intimacy.
Queer lit, no chill. Some crumbs of academia, mostly chaos. If queer lit is your love language, we're fluent. Heads up, babes, we're not here to tease. We spill everything. Listener discretion is strongly encouraged, but honestly, you knew that. Welcome to Cliterture, the podcast. All right, we're back.
Episode 11.
11. Can you believe it?
We're almost at a year.
I know. We've been doing this thing.
I know. People are still here. They're still listening to us
So
yap about
surprising.
books.
I know. So surprising when you talk about stuff like that. But,
Yeah.
oh, whoops, sorry. I just bashed my microphone.
It's not like we've done this a few times or anything.
Listen, we're in a different setup, okay?
Yeah, it's
This is
weird,
different.
but I like it.
I like it too. Oh, man. So, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by
Yeah.
Taylor Jenkins Reid.
This was a reread for both of us.
It was. The first time I read it, absolutely loved it. Gave me chills. I cried. I laughed. It was phenomenal. And I did not see the twist coming.
Me neither. And I pride myself on seeing the twists coming.
Oh, same.
Completely blindsided on this one.
Before we get any further, I know that all of you who have listened to us before know that we spoil everything. When I say that we're going to spoil absolutely everything about this book, we're going to spoil all of the spoilers. So
Yes.
like we're going to talk about the twist, and I had forgotten about the twist.
I had to. I knew that there was a twist, but I forgot how twisty the twist was.
So it's a really, really good one.
It's a good
if you
one.
don't want spoilers, then don't listen to
Don't
this
listen to
episode
this yet.
until you read the book.
This is your chance. Swipe
Yeah.
away, hit pause.
Go back to one you've read or you
Whatever,
don't care about.
yeah.
This one is really twisty, and I'm telling
It's
you,
a really good one, too.
We're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it. So if you don't want to hear it, turn back.
Now you've been forewarned.
This is not
If you keep going, you can't say we didn't tell you to stop.
Why did I go straight into Labyrinth?
I don't have a clue. I don't really know why you do most of the things
Take
you
heed and go
do.
no further. Oh,
I've never seen that,
beware.
actually.
Oh my God. Okay, so I know that there are people out there listening to this that know exactly
Yeah.
what I'm talking
I
about.
mean, I know what you're talking about. I've just never actually watched the movie.
I don't even feel embarrassed that I just did all of that because that's how much that movie means to me.
Well,
And I
yeah.
think that tells you a
There's
lot
no
about
shame.
who I am.
No shame.
But back to the book.
Evelyn Hugo, first of all,
Yeah, bombshell.
what a queen.
She is a queen. And I think that people are going to be torn on her character. And I think that that is fair. But I love her.
I love how unapologetically her she is.
Yeah.
I love the fact that not once through this entire book did she ever really apologize for anything. I mean, honestly, like
Yeah.
she was like, I have done some bad things to get to where I am, and I would do them all over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I did them to get somewhere or to protect someone.
Yeah, exactly. And she talks about how the world doesn't give you anything. You have to take what you want.
Yeah.
And that is a life lesson that she learned early on and just followed it throughout her life. And it got her to where she is. And she has no regrets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No regrets. Oh, man. I'm in a weird mood.
I can see it in your eyes right now.
Okay, so I guess we should start by, if you haven't read this and don't plan to read this book starts off with Monique, who is, it's in present day. It goes back and forth.
Right.
But Monique works at a magazine called Vivant.
Yeah, I'm going to let you say that one.
I only know that
I'm
it
like,
said
Vivant?
Yeah. I only know that it's pronounced that way because I listened to the audiobook.
Right.
And so I'm like, oh, it's Vivant.
Actually, you'll be surprised. The first time I read this, I actually listened to the audiobook.
It was a good one. I will
So this is
say.
the first time I've actually sat down and read it with my eyes and not my ears.
Yeah.
But yeah, Monique, she's a journalist, she's a writer, and she's kind of not well known. She had a piece that kind of got some traction at
Which
a previous
got her the job at Vivant.
Yeah, but she's like, pretty low on the totem pole when it comes to, the writing hierarchy here.
Yeah. Also, in the very beginning, it sets up the fact that she's not very confident.
Oh,
like
no.
she says, I need to work on my confidence. Like
literally
says it to
And-
herself.
Yeah.
But she gets called into her office
To
by
her
her
editor's
boss.
office, yeah.
It says Evelyn Hugo wants to do.
And to put in perspective for anyone, again, who hasn't read this, think about like if Meryl Streep called your workplace and was like, I want you.
Yeah.
Evelyn Hugo is a world-renowned, very famous actress.
Of decades.
She's known for her acting chops, for sure. She's also known for her rack.
Mm-hmm.
And she's known for the fact she was married 7 times.
Yeah.
That the public knows of. Yeah. So she's famous for a lot of different reasons, good and bad, and in between. But yeah, think of it as like someone like Meryl Streep or, Kate Blanchett, your favorite.
I would not be able to handle that.
Calls and's like, I want you to come write an article about me.
Yeah, and exactly how I would feel, like, why me? I am but a lowly writer. Why me? She feels the exact same way. Like, why would she ask
the editors even like, we have no idea, and we tried to even recommend someone else that was not better. You. Yeah. She was like, no, I'm only doing it with Monique.
Yeah.
So right there, you should have smelled something.
Right.
Was
right.
up.
Absolutely. But she doesn't know why she wants her. Nobody, like the whole time she's like, I don't know why.
I don't know who this person is.
Yeah. But also, hell yeah, I'll take this.
Let's go.
So she goes to Evelyn's apartment on Fifth Avenue and that she shared with her husband, Harry Cameron, that we love. But sorry, we'll talk about him later. But she
thinks she's going to write like just a piece for the article.
Well, she's auctioning off a lot of her gowns from her years of acting at Christie's to raise money for cancer research because her daughter, Evelyn Hugo's daughter, has just recently passed away from breast cancer.
Yeah.
And so that is what she is going, it's a guise.
On the pretense.
Yeah, on the pretense that she's going to report on all of these dresses being auctioned.
And she sits down and Evelyn's like, actually, that was a lie. The dresses being auctioned was not a lie. That was actually happening. But the whole like piece for the magazine, total ruse.
Yeah, I just want you to write my life story.
Yeah. She's going to give
No big deal.
She's going to give Monique access that no one in the world has ever had. She's going to tell her the complete and honest truth about all of her marriages, about her entire life, all the ugly details.
Right.
With the promise that Monique will publish it upon her death.
Upon her death, yeah.
Yeah.
And that she will not hold back, that she'll tell the absolute truth.
Yeah.
Because the truth is what is important.
Yeah. And the world has had this idea of who Evelyn Hugo was.
Right.
Based on,
Who she was with.
Or what the tabloids said. And she wants this to be the full and ugly truth of who she is as a person and what happened in her life.
Absolutely. So I feel like the easiest way for us to navigate talking about this is to go through her husbands chronologically.
Yeah.
And when she married them. And then we're just going to sprinkle in our likes and dislikes and our hot takes along the way. And then that way we won't just give you a book report, because I feel like it'd be very easy for me to just talk about all of the wonderful writing in this book.
Or we could just sit here and just read quotes from the book like we did for the hour before we started recording this.
This book is so beautifully written. I've never read anything other than Daisy Jones and the Six.
That's the only thing I've read too. Yeah.
But now I really want to read Atmosphere. So
we
if
keep
you want
talking
us to
about
read
it.
Atmosphere, send us a message and let us know, because I need an extra push for D. I just like, it's a lesbian astronaut. What, we live in Huntsville, Alabama. It's literally Rocket City. Why have we not read this yet? But
I'll tell you why I haven't read it yet. And I'm sure it's an amazing book and it's gotten all kinds of great reviews. But Evelyn Hugo hit me so hard in all the best ways that I am almost scared to read anything else.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid it won't live up to Evelyn Hugo for me.
I don't know. This is a top 5 book for me.
Oh, absolutely.
And it made me cry, and it made me laugh, and it made me angry. Like, all of the emotions.
It also made me proud to be a woman.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of
and
that.
And, like, I feel Evelyn Hugo in general, she is a strong, independent woman, even though she was married seven times. She didn't need any of those men.
She needed the first one.
She needed Ernie. Oh, Ernie. But yeah, so I just feel like her being unapologetically her and knowing what she wants and taking it regardless of who it harms.
Right.
And regardless of what an outcome could be for someone else, she knows how to get from point A to point B, and she gets there.
I don't think she ever did anything in this entire book truly maliciously.
Malicious, no.
She did it
Calculated, manipulative.
advantageously manipulative,
Yeah.
yes. But I don't think she ever did anything for the sole purpose of hurting someone, really. So yeah, husband number 1, sweet little Ernie Diaz.
Yes.
So Evelyn grew up in
Hell's Kitchen.
And her mom died when she was pretty young. Mm-hmm. And her mom and her had this,
her mom's dream
was to be an actress and to get them out of Hell's Kitchen. And her dad was not the nicest dude. Mm-hmm. And she knew she had to get out of there. And Ernie Diaz was her ticket out.
Right. It was like one of her friend's cousins or something like that.
Yeah.
It was just like a random boy. But he had gotten a job on the lot of some studio in Hollywood.
Like Sunset or something.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
And she was like, that's my ticket out of Hell's Kitchen.
And she knew if she wore the right clothes and said the right things, Ernie would propose.
Absolutely. And
that's what happened.
She filled out early. She was 14. But when she went and met Ernie, he was like, you're 16, right? And she was like, just turned.
Sure.
Yes,
sure
I am. And
blew those candles out a few minutes ago.
And, made him fall in love with her real quick with her wiles and got the hell out of Hell's Kitchen and found herself in Hollywood and stayed with little Ernie for a hot minute.
Until the studio said she couldn't. But yeah, I think Ernie was the only one she truly needed. And she even says that she traded her virginity for a ride to Hollywood.
Yeah.
In this book. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you got to do what you got to do sometimes.
You do. She
truly needed out of that situation.
There's a quote in the book somewhere that says, if you tell a woman that all she's good for is her looks, then she's going to believe you. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. But I think that she was taught at a very, very young age, because she did fill out so quickly and started noticing all of the attention she was getting from men. And, I think that she learned really early on that she could use the way that she looked to get what she wanted. Mm-hmm. And she did that her whole life. Yep. And I don't fault her for that at all.
Not a bit. Yeah. So she gets to Hollywood and she was tenacious. Like if she set her mind to something, she didn't stop until she made it happen, really.
Right.
And so she was determined she was going to be an actress, and she just did whatever she had to do to get there. And just wouldn't stop until they gave her the parts.
Because they started giving her parts. Originally, they gave her parts that were like girl number 2, or like she had like one line in this one movie because she was Cuban and she didn't look the part that they wanted her to look. Mm-hmm. And so Harry Cameron, he was like a producer at the studio. And so she's known him from the minute she made it to Hollywood.
Right.
And he told her, you're not going to get those parts unless you look the part.
Yeah.
And so she slept with one of the other producers. She slept with the executive producer. Didn't sleep with him. He went down on her in the office. She was like, that was how she got her part. Her first part, real part. And Ari Sullivan. Something like that. He was like the executive producer of Sunset Studios or whatever it is. He's just like this big dude who's like, whatever. And he likes young girls. And so she used that to her advantage and was like, okay, he's going to give you a part, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to change your name. We're going to dye your hair blonde, and you're going to lose the accent because you're not Cuban here anymore.
Yeah. No speaking Spanish anymore.
Right.
And she did it. She went along with it, and she got the parts. It took her a little bit. She knew that she wasn't the best actress. Yeah. But she tried really hard. But one of the caveats to all of that is she had to start being seen with all the other famous actors. Right. Like Don Adler. Right. And to do that, she couldn't be going home to sweet little Ernie. So I think that it said that like the studio gave him a hefty, like basically, they paid him off.
Yeah, they paid him off.
And she wrote him a really sweet letter.
Yeah, and he like has a house and a family, and he's like all happy
He
now.
took the money and went and bought a house, and made his life better. And I think they're both better because of it.
Exactly, because she never loved him. And
I think she loved him in a small, like platonic kind of love way. I don't think that she definitely wasn't in love with him.
No.
But she also didn't marry him for love. Yeah. But I think she loved him for what he offered.
She was probably grateful for him.
Yeah, there you go.
But I don't think she loved him.
So, obviously one of the things that you want when you're an up and coming actress is to be seen out on the town with all the other people who are,
gotta
doing
rub
that.
elbows with the rich and famous so that you can become rich and famous.
And she became infatuated, and he became infatuated with her, but the famous Don Adler.
Adler was a very famous name in Hollywood in general. I think both of his parents were actors.
Think like
as well.
the Barrymores, kind of. Yeah. But yeah, so she truly fell in love with this guy, and they were good together.
Yeah.
Like they seemed like very compatible, very sweet, truly loved each other, but also were determined to both make their careers better, and being together certainly did that for both of them.
Yeah.
And I think Don, in a lot of ways, was just trying to get out of the shadow of his parents.
Yeah.
And prove that he was a true actor and not just riding their coattails.
Right.
And so, yeah, they were Hollywood sweethearts.
They were for a while. And she truly loved him, and she talks about how she found out that she could want and lust after a man in a way that she had never experienced before, and it wasn't just a means to an end. It was like a need, like a passion, like a burning need to be close to this man, to have a relationship with him, to be close with him, to sleep with him, like all of it. Like, it's the first time that she'd ever felt that, because
sex had always just been something that you did.
Currency.
Yeah, it was currency. And this was the first time she ever really experienced pleasure and passion and knew that it could be anything other than a transaction.
Yeah.
But she also learned very quickly how society views women and their sexuality. There's a quote that I loved. It says, "That is the fastest way to ruin a woman's reputation after all. To imply that she has not adequately threaded the needle that is being sexually satisfying without ever appearing to desire sexual satisfaction." So like, you can want it, but you can't want it too much. But if you don't want it at all, that's also bad.
Yeah. Like,
so
you're a whore or you're a prude, and there's no in between.
Right. And you have to thread that needle. You have to walk that very fine line.
Yeah.
Or society's going to hate you either way.
And also, like, Evelyn was such a, like, she looked sexual. Like, she had this gorgeous, like, she didn't have an hourglass figure. She just had really big boobs.
Yeah. She had no ass.
No ass
big
whatsoever.
Boobs.
Big old boobs. But like, gorgeous brown skin. Everybody talked about how the blonde hair with her dark skin didn't seem like it was natural, but then it seemed like it should always be that way. Like, it just worked, and she was gorgeous. They always talked about how her eyebrows were very like straight. I can't imagine straight eyebrows the way that they're saying that it's so attractive. Like, I guess I'm thinking of today's terms, and like, straight eyebrows. What?
Yeah.
But anyway, I feel like she was like, people looked at her and thought sex.
Yeah.
Anyway, and she knew that, and that was her brand for a while.
But she couldn't also really lean into that, or she was a whore.
Yeah, or she was a whore. Exactly. Yeah. And so they did movies together too, but she also talked to Harry about wanting like a really good part. She wanted to part with grit, and so Little Women is something that they were going to do. And she was like, I want Joe. I want to be Joe March in Little Women, and that's what I'm going to do. Well, the actress that they cast for Beth, who everybody knows, everybody loves Beth. I've read Little Women. I've watched Little Women. I've seen the play. I've seen the movie. Everybody loves Beth because Beth dies, okay? Yeah. And she's like happy-go-lucky until she's dead, okay? And like, she's like, whoever is going to be Beth, they're going to love her anyway. But they cast Celia St. James.
This teenager that's going to like
act me under the table,
or something. Yeah.
So her and her other two actress friends that are in the movie are pissed when they find out that Celia St. James
this teenager is going to show us up,
because she's really actually good.
Like, she wasn't just a pretty face; she had the acting chops. And throughout the book, her and Evelyn agree, out of the two of them, she was the better actress.
Yeah.
But they were also kind of polar opposites, because you've got, big-breasted Evelyn with no ass, and Celia has no chest, all ass.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, they...
Just like a puzzle piece.
And Celia...
She's also super pale.
Oh, yeah.
And redheaded and just...
And she's kind of like very wholesome in a lot of ways.
Well, she's from Georgia. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, Evelyn's like, I hail from Hell's Kitchen. And then she's like, I'm a Georgia peach.
Yeah.
I've come here just to see what this Hollywood's all about. In
the big city.
Yeah. And like, her family is extremely wealthy back home in Georgia.
So if she doesn't make it, everything's fine. She'll just go home.
But then she is really, really good and talented.
And everybody hates her.
And she comes on set the first day and she's like, oh, I'm just really nervous. I just want to. And they're like,
she also kind of figures out, though, how it works. Because the first time her and Evelyn ever really kind of spend any time together, Celia immediately just kind of tries to capitalize on it and go be seen somewhere. She's like, you want to go get milkshakes? And by that, I mean, do you want to go somewhere so somebody will photograph me with you?
Yeah. And Evelyn's like, I won't be played.
I'm not going to be manipulated like this. But I understand. And I, game recognizes game.
Yeah.
And so they come to an agreement that Celia's going to help her be a better actress.
Right.
And she'll also just, help her be seen.
Go be like the Dawn Adler for her in the beginning. Like she'll be the one that will be like, oh, Celia St. James is out with Evelyn Hugo.
Yeah.
Besties. Yay.
But yeah.
And they do become besties.
They do.
They do.
Yeah. They become besties.
Besties. And then they were best friends.
And history said that they were best friends.
Just roommates.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. We haven't talked about the fact that Don was an alcoholic and abusive.
Yeah, he hit her.
He hit her 2 weeks after they got married. He started hitting her. And I feel like the way that she talks about abuse is a way that I could understand someone in the midst of it feeling. Because I think that if you really and truly do love the person that you're with and they abuse you in that way, whether it be emotionally or sexually or physically, in her case it was physically, she was like, but I love him and he is so sorry afterwards and he always apologizes and tells me that it'll never happen again, and I can just see it in his face that he's really, really sorry, and you make that excuse and then it's good for a little while and he makes up for it and then it happens again. And so it's like just enough time for you to feel a little bit safe.
Yeah.
And then it happens again. And then it happens again. And then he pushes her down the stairs. And then he hits her in the face right before she films a movie. And they have to like pancake make up her face so that she can go on screen. And I feel like it happened for so long that it was almost normal. Like she taught herself that was just normal and she loved him. So there was no faulting. She knew it was bad. She knew it was wrong, but she still loved him. Yeah. And she even had a conversation with Harry after he found out about it. And she's like, but I love him. But I love him and I don't, and I think that she loved Dawn forever, like throughout, even when they weren't together afterwards, and we talked about this before, if you spend any amount of time with a partner and you love them or you're in love with them or you have love for them, I don't feel like love just goes away. I feel like it's just like energy and it changes. Yeah. But I don't feel like it goes away. And so the fact that she was in love with him so deeply for a long time, can't remember how long they were actually together, but it was years.
Well, I mean, there's different types of love and you can feel love for someone in a multitude of ways. You can be in love with them. You can love them platonically. You can love them as someone who is part of your life and helped get you to where you are. And I think that, like you said, I think if you love someone truly at some point in your life, that never will fully go away. There's always going to be a part of you that loves them in some way. It may not be the same love as it was before, but you're going to at least love that you are who you are because of them. So yeah, I think she never shied away from talking about her love for Don.
Because she's like, I loved him. Yeah. I loved him, even later when she's having conversations with Celia, she's like, no, but I absolutely loved Don. And you are forgetting the fact that I also loved a man. Yeah.
And that brings us around to how her marriage with Don ended. Yeah. It kind of blew up because at the same time that things were getting really bad with him and she found out that he had been cheating on her, she also realized that she had developed feelings for Celia St. James.
They got really close. They were super cute besties and they hung out all the time. And originally it did start out as
they were friends.
They were friends, and it started out like, I'll help you out. I'll go out with you. We'll go shopping. We'll go get milkshakes. We'll go wherever. But then it ended up being an actual friendship and they loved spending time together. And it wasn't hard for her to do that anymore because she actually enjoyed hanging out with Celia. Right. And so one of the times that they were hanging out, they're at Evelyn's house and they're drinking wine together and it's so super cute. But even in that moment, Evelyn is still with Dawn at this point. Yeah. And you see that she's starting to notice Celia in ways that I don't think heterosexual women notice women. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
she talked about the freckles on her hip and things like that.
Well, even just like, I don't know, just the way that there's just so many small subtle things, like being so close, or like her drinking out of the same glass as you, like thinking about like, are your lips touching where my lips were touching? Like things that you don't think about if you're just hanging out with a platonic girlfriend. Right. You know what I mean? And then she spills wine all over her top and has to give her a new top. And when Celia's changing, she's like, oh, and then I noticed there's a line of brown freckles around her hip. And like, that is an image that she like photographed
it's seared
in her
into
mind.
her brain. Yeah.
Straight women don't do that.
Yeah.
And if they do, like, correct me. But like, I just don't think that they pay attention to women that way.
Yeah. I don't know if you have any freckles on your hip. I don't know.
You've never seen, well, I don't know. I'm like, have we swam together? I don't know. I don't even know if I have any freckles on my hip. But you know what I mean? Like, if you are like,
if you're like, if it's platonic, you're probably not paying that close of attention to things like that. And so I think this was the first time in her life that she ever truly had feelings for a woman outside of just being, I don't think, for one, she talks about she never had a friend before Harry.
That's true.
So she didn't really have anything to go off of. But yeah, this was the first time that she really started seeing something about her friendship with Celia was changing, and she finally started to admit that. And she admits it to Monique. And the whole time that this book is going back and forth, we get what was happening to her back when she was married to Don and all their other husbands. But at the same time, you get scenes of her talking to Monique present day,
right? Because
she's sitting in a room day after day, Monique and Evelyn is just telling her this story, and Monique is absorbing all of this. And one of the big things, the like secret that is coming out in this book, or one of them, is who the real love of Evelyn's life was, because that's, everyone talks about how many husbands she had, how many times she was married,
right?
Which one of them did she really love? And so it comes out very quickly in the book that it wasn't any of the husbands.
It wasn't any of them.
The love of her life was Celia St. James.
Okay, so Monique asked the question that everybody wants to know.
Yeah.
She says, Evelyn, who was your great love? You can tell me. Evelyn looks out the window, breathes in deeply, and says, Celia St. James.
My heart stopped.
I know.
My heart stopped.
And like, to have, okay, I'm thinking from not just me as a reader, but also like if I was in Monique's shoes and you just got that truth bomb dropped in your lap.
Because nobody
knows.
The public had no idea.
Right.
That her and Celia were anything other than friends.
Right. There were a few tiny rumors, but they were quickly squashed. And we'll get to that. But nobody ever knew.
Nobody outside of their very, very small circle
right.
knew this. And so Monique, like any good journalist, realizes that she has got a big fish on a hook right now. And so she's like, basically, am I telling your coming out story? Are you coming out as a lesbian? And Evelyn is like, hold up. That's not what I said. And she says, haven't you been listening to a single thing I've told you? I love Celia, but I also, before her, loved Don. In fact, I'm positive that if Don hadn't turned out to be a spectacular asshole, I probably never would have been capable of falling in love with someone else at all. I'm bisexual. Don't ignore half of me so you can fit me into a box, Monique. Don't do that.
Which, like, fucking snaps, Evelyn. You know what I mean?
Pop off, queen.
Jesus. And that's like the whole thing. Like, I do not identify as bisexual. I am a lesbian. But we all hear about bisexuality and how they feel like they're erased in so many different circles. And not only like the queer community, but also the heterosexual community. Like, if somebody like sees you with a man, then they can automatically assume that you're heterosexual.
And if they see you with someone of the same sex, like if you're a woman and they see you with another woman, then they're like this going to assume that you're a lesbian. And it is like a big thing that nobody stops to ask, how would you like to identify?
Exactly. And I think that nowadays it's becoming much more mainstream to be like, what are your pronouns? What's your identity? Like, I don't want to get it wrong. And I think that that's important. And the fact that this happens with Monique as the interviewer, that's another part of the story that is Monique is biracial. She has a white mother and a black father. Yeah. And so immediately after she's called out by Evelyn, she's like, I cannot believe that I just did that to you when this has been done to me with my race my entire life. Yeah. Like
people choose to ignore half of me.
Right. Because I present like African American or I present, right. Like, so the white part of me is completely erased. And like we get strange looks when I'm out in public with my mother because she's white, but I look black.
Right.
And how did I do that? Like, how did I just like ignore half of yourself?
And I think that this is something that this book covers from a few different angles and very, very well.
Oh, yeah.
Because fast forwarding just a little bit since we're on this topic, Evelyn's sexuality was a problem for Celia for almost the entire book.
Yeah. I don't feel like it changed, honestly.
No, I don't really. I mean, I think she just finally just gave up fighting it in the end for them to just be together.
Yeah.
But she was never comfortable with the fact that not only would Evelyn sleep with men, but that she could truly love a man.
And be fulfilled by a man.
By a man, yeah. And I think that that's huge because like having your partner just be so adamantly against much of your identity that they can't even be with you at times because they broke up over that.
Even though it was for her.
Yeah.
I mean,
Evelyn sleeps with a man to protect her and Celia's relationship
because everybody that like there's like rumors circling that they're more than friends.
Sure.
And so she's like, I'm gonna go have like a crazy Vegas wedding. You
know?
So
that brings us to husband number 3, Mick Riva.
Yeah.
Who she does go and just have this like 24-hour Vegas wedding. Fully planned out. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get him to marry me in Vegas
and then get it
annulled. But that's going to squash all the rumors.
Right. It does.
But it also squashes her entire relationship with Celia.
Because she's like, you slept with him? And she's like, yeah, that was the plan all along. And she's like, no. Like, I didn't say you could go sleep with him. I said you could go marry him and get it annulled. And she was like, what do you think happens when
How do you think I got him to marry me?
Like, what do you think I just like got him with my charm?
No.
No, it was these tits and a lot of alcohol.
Yeah. And Mick was like a lot of men who had this idea of how grand it would be to be with Evelyn Hugo.
Like the name Evelyn Hugo, not the person. But the name.
The name and the persona of Evelyn Hugo. And then he wakes up the next morning and her mascara is smeared and her hair's messed up.
On purpose.
She's got morning breath.
Yeah. Like lets herself be disheveled and like not Evelyn Hugo. The opposite of Evelyn Hugo.
And you could like audibly hear the bubble burst for him in that scene of like, he's like, oh, this isn't as glamorous as I thought it was going to be.
And also
she also purposely made herself bad in bed.
Yeah. She was like starfish.
She's just like not moving.
I'm just going to lay here. Oh my God. But also the fact that like all of that was so calculated, even down to the breakup. She
was a fucking genius. Let's be real.
And she even says like, if they gave Oscars for this,
she'd have won them.
Already had it. Like this was the best performance of my life because even at the end when he's breaking up with her, she realizes this was part of it for him. Like he likes leaving. He likes the end.
He likes to be the one that like breaks their heart.
Yeah, and he uses the same line that he used for his last wife. Like, I'm not a good guy, and you deserve better than me. And she's like, I just read this in People. Like you know, like you said the same thing. This was in the
tabloids yesterday.
Yeah, but also she just internally, like she just is like, oh yeah, okay, like I'm sad, and she throws a phone at him or something like that, like to like
really sell it,
give him a story to tell.
The only part of it she didn't plan out was the throwing of the phone.
Like, oh, this is improv. It's good. Yeah. This is good. Yeah.
Some of her best acting with that 24-hour marriage to Mick.
Yeah.
After that, so that was husband. We've covered husbands 1, 2, and 3.
Love it.
Husband number 4. I really liked Rex North.
I did too.
Rex. So this marriage was.
No. Celia breaks up with her over
the Mick thing
and leaves and does not speak to her for years.
Also,
no notes.
She finds out that in that 24-hour marriage, she ended up knocked up.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that.
And here comes Harry. We've got to take a moment for Harry.
Listen, I love him.
Everyone needs a Harry in their life.
Yes.
Full stop. Because Harry is one of those friends that like, it doesn't matter. You could call them and be like, I want to go get a cup of coffee. I need help getting my oil changed or I've got to hide a body.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Harry's going to show up.
Figure it out.
He's going to be like, do I need to bring a shovel or do you already have one?
Yeah.
And
I've got a tarp.
yeah. He's like, I got the tarp.
Mine.
You got the, yeah. Whose car are we taking? And he literally drove her to Mexico.
Yeah.
To have an abortion.
Tijuana.
And took care of her afterwards.
Yeah.
And I think that's when she realized how much she had been missing in her life before, not having someone,
A true friend.
who had her back, period.
Yeah.
There is something so freeing and stabilizing about knowing that no matter what, there is at least one person on this earth that is in your corner, no matter what. And that you can be your true, authentic self with them. Mm-hmm. And they're never going to judge you and they're never going to leave you.
Yeah.
And so I loved this quote because this came after all of that and after Celia had left. You don't know how fast you have been running, how hard you have been working, how truly exhausted you are until someone stands behind you and says, it's okay. You can fall down now. I'll catch you. Dude, the tears.
And that is Harry.
Oh,
like
God.
that is Harry.
And they're that for they're that for each other.
Each other.
It's not one-sided. It is one of the truest like partnerships.
Yeah.
That I feel like has ever been depicted.
Yeah. I feel like at this moment we should probably tell the listeners that Harry Cameron is gay.
And Evelyn finds it out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because she kind of makes a comment like, well, you've never tried to sleep with me. And
Everyone
he's like,
else has.
Honey, you're not my type.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is fabulous. But I mean, in this day and age, he had to keep
that real under wraps.
Right.
I mean, he could be arrested, killed. People would have wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
For his sexuality. Mm-hmm. And so he never really, at least for most of the book, explicitly said anything. It was more of just a like, I'm going to hint at this and you're going to figure it out and then we're not going to talk about it anymore kind of thing.
And they had the conversation when Evelyn starts figuring out that she has feelings for Celia. They have a conversation in the car, her and Harry, like, I think that we should be true friends. Like, I think we should tell each other everything. And he's saying, you know, I don't want to burden you with that. That like that's
a big secret to carry.
My full truth is very sticky secret that if, you know, like now you have deniable plausibility. Like if you don't know, know anything. And so like if I'm doing that with you, you know, and then Evelyn then is like, I think we've got a little bit of that secret in all of us. You know,
we kind of share a little something on this.
Agreed. I feel like everybody's got a little bit of that secret.
Yeah.
But anyway, I feel like their relationship throughout the book is the best relationship.
It is so sweet.
Even over Celia. And I love the fact that she's so in love with Celia, but I think that her and Harry's relationship was more stable.
They were, to me, the truest definition of soulmates.
Absolutely.
Her and Harry were.
Absolutely. Yeah, period. 100%. Her and Celia loved each other till the end.
Love of each other's lives.
Yes.
Her and Harry were soulmates.
For sure.
And that just to me was like one of the most beautiful things about this book was just watching her and Harry.
And also just
love each other.
All of the different relationships. We talked about this before we started recording. There are so many different relationships that are in this book.
All the husbands kind of depict a different type of relationship that you can have. And I mean, Rex North, husband number 4, was a marriage of convenience for both of them.
Right.
So after Celia leaves, after the abortion and Harry, Evelyn's doing another movie. She's doing it with Rex North, who's another just good looking guy in Hollywood.
They're doing Anna Karenina.
Yeah. But it's kind of getting like mixed reviews going into it. It's not out yet, but like word on the street is kind of up in the air on whether it's going to be really good or not. And so they're trying to figure out a way to get like the buzz.
Yeah.
And they come up with, why don't we get married?
Yeah, the 2 stars of the film, we're going to get married, and then they can watch them on film and see their chemistry.
Right. And, I mean, not a bad plan.
No, it worked. Yeah. And they were together for a few years. Like, but it was a completely platonic, arranged, like, Rex, he could sleep with whoever he wanted to. You know,
she could sleep with whoever, like,
as long as they were discreet and it didn't, you know, get out. But
and they lived in the same house, separate bedrooms. And I mean, honestly, they weren't like super friends. I don't think they weren't anywhere close to like best friends or anything like that.
But it worked.
I do think it was a sweet marriage in a lot of ways. And there was even a scene where, and I thought for a second that this was going to go the way that probably everyone else reading this thought that it was going to go. There was a scene where they had been celebrating and they'd had a little bit too much to drink. And for the first time, Rex puts the moves on Evelyn and comes into her bedroom and like,
She hesitates.
She
was
thought
really
about it for a
lonely.
second.
Yeah.
And I think they both were kind of a little bit lonely. And, he makes it known that he wants to sleep with her and she ends up turning him down. And I was like, oh, this is not going to go well. Because,
Yeah, I thought he was going to be a cad. I think he was going to be like awful and like.
Or it was going to go where he wasn't going to take no for an answer.
Right.
And he was such a gentleman.
He was just like, you're always going to wonder if it was good or not. You're always going to think about it. And she was like, I probably will, but we're not going to do that. And he's like, all right, like salutes and goes to his bedroom like a nice little boy.
Have a good night.
And that is what that marriage was for. It was for marketing and it did its job. And then Rex started dating one of his exes again and found out that he actually loved her.
Fell in love again.
And wanted to have a family and she was pregnant and he was like, I want to be with Joan. And so
they had to figure out how to get out of the marriage though without it being obvious that it was, fake.
Right. But they both pretended like they were having affairs.
Right.
Right.
And so Evelyn was having an affair. He pretended to have an affair, which it was true, with his ex.
I think her name was Joan. I could be
which
wrong.
would explain how she ended up pregnant. But they had to figure out who Evelyn was going to have an affair with. And lo and behold, the most eligible bachelor in the room, Mr. Harry Cameron.
Harry Cameron.
Oh my God. Watching them actually be husband. So this was also another sweet thing to me.
Yeah.
Because Harry never thought, being a gay man in that day and age, I don't think Harry ever thought that he could have a family.
I don't either.
I don't think he ever thought that he could be married and come home to a spouse and be happy and have a child and make his mother happy because he was like, Mom keeps wanting me to bring somebody home.
Yeah.
And they had the best platonic marriage. Like that was.
And the way that he proposed it to her. He didn't propose to her, but the way that he proposed this arrangement to her is, I'm tired of being alone.
Yeah.
I'm tired of living alone. I love you. I mean, I've always loved you, but loved you as in, we're besties, not like I'm in love with you.
Right.
But I love you and I think that we could have a beautiful life together and I think that we could be wonderful partners and I can't imagine anybody better to spend my life with than you. And I want a family.
Yeah.
So like, let's have a family. Like we can do that eventually. Like, don't you want to have a family? And she's like, yeah, I mean, eventually I do.
Yeah.
And that was just the most beautiful full circle. I don't know. It just goes to show that soulmates come in all different shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
And if that's what works for
And
your
also,
family, then
marriages and families come in all shapes, sizes. Their family, even though the marriage was for show, it didn't take away from how much they loved each other and how true and authentic and valid their family was.
And they always came back to each other.
Yeah.
That was the thing too, because I mean, Harry he continued to date men.
Right.
And Evelyn was free to date women or men as long as they were discreet about it, because they didn't want drama, because they just wanted to be together.
They wanted to come home to somebody and they wanted to have a family. And it ended up working out.
It did.
Real well.
I love the idea of the
This
family that
made
it evolved
me
into.
super happy. So during all of this, some rumors started going around even more heavily about Miss Celia St. James. And so she figured out that she had to save face somehow. And so she, quote, quote, started dating John Braverman. Like the All-American football player. Yeah. Like if you look up like apple pie and American in the dictionary, it's just a picture of this dude.
Which worked for her little Georgia Peach self.
Oh, for sure. They made the cutest little like All-American couple, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then Harry comes home one day and he's like, Evelyn, I got to tell you something. I've met somebody.
I
and
love
he's
him. Wonderful.
And he's wonderful. And he's dating your ex.
He's married to your ex.
Oh yeah, they
got married.
Were they married or engaged at that point? I can't remember.
One or the other.
Anyway, they were engaged and or married at this time. But lo and behold, the love of Harry's life
is Celia St. James' beard.
Celia St. James's beard. and he's like, hear me out.
Yeah, hear me out.
What if?
For a second. Like listen.
But that was the first time that Evelyn really realized that marriage was a sham.
Yeah.
Even knowing that Celia
Only liked women,
and I mean, honestly, for Celia to completely erase the whole bisexuality thing from Evelyn.
Yeah.
For Evelyn to still give her the benefit of the doubt that maybe her marriage wasn't fake.
Yeah.
Good for you. But the moment that he said who he was in love with, I was like, I have an idea.
Yes, we have an idea. Let's do it. This is going to be so great.
And they did it.
And she's married to John, who is also gay, who's in love with Harry. And now Evelyn's married to Harry. And it's just like this beautiful little square that they've got going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for a long time, that was the life. That was what they led. John and Celia were married, and Evelyn and Harry were married. And they were, what did they call them? The double daters?
Like, we went out to dinner in public, the four of us looking like two pairs of heterosexuals without a heterosexual in the bunch. And it actually started a bunch of rumors because they were always seen, the four of them together, these two couples together, these two married couples. And they were seen everywhere, and they were always having the best time and whatever. And everyone started thinking that, like, are they swingers?
Right.
And they loved it, like the buzz about them and their, them being swingers or whatever. Mm-hmm. And Evelyn even says, it really makes you think, doesn't it, that people were so eager to believe we were swapping spouses, but would have been scandalized to know we were monogamous and queer. Like, it was easier for the public to accept that they were swingers than that they were in loving, committed relationships
with people of the same sex. Which is insane. But you got to think, this is the time while they were in New York living this life that was so wonderful. This was when Stonewall
happened. Yeah.
So, I mean, this was just the beginning of the gay rights movement. One of the huge,
it was the big turning point and catalyst for it. Also, Harry and Evelyn decide that they do want to have a child.
Baby, yeah.
And they could, have adopted. They could have
used a surrogate. And Celia asks that too, because obviously, like, Harry stays at his apartment and Evelyn stays at her apartment, and Celia stays with Evelyn and John stays with Harry.
Right.
But Harry's always present. They all just pop back in it. It's all like this big happy family.
Yeah, they lived really close to each other. Yeah.
And so Celia says, like, have you thought about surrogacy and or something like that? Like, do you have to sleep? Aren't there other ways? Do you have to sleep with Harry? And Evelyn says, I don't want anyone to question why Harry and I aren't having our own child. Like, I don't want the question to be out in the world, why are they using a surrogate?
Right.
If they're so madly in love and they're married,
Right.
Like, and I understand that for sure.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know, like, even though they had to have sex to have a baby, I just feel like the making of that child was so, like, planned and hoped for that
it was done with love.
I was about to say, it's not even about the sexual act of it. It's just, we both want a child that looks like us and that has our quirks. We want to do that together, and we said that from the beginning, and so let's do it together.
Yeah. And these are people who are, again, in relationships where they can't have that with the love of their life. They're
with their partner.
And so this is a way for them to have that. Like, Harry never would have been able to have a child
had it not been for Evelyn
that had his eyes or, his laugh or his smile or whatever. And he is such a good father.
So wonderful.
They have a the sweetest little girl, Connor. And he is they're both amazing parents.
Yeah.
But he is such a good father. And I'm so happy
that they did that.
That was able to happen for them. But it isn't without its problems. Again, Celia, can't get over the fact of Evelyn sleeping with a man.
Yeah.
Even if it is to give their family group a child.
Yeah. It is a stumbling block. She doesn't leave, but it is definitely like...
Yeah. It's kind of one of those things that's like, she's like, I'm not going to put too much thought in it because I can't think about it. I don't like it. During one of her fights with Celia, a big part of her relationship with Celia was Evelyn fighting so hard and doing everything she could to keep it from going public because it would ruin all of their lives. They would all lose their jobs. They would be, ostracized and from society, potentially physically harmed.
Yeah.
And
also, I do want to note that another reason that Celia had an issue with Evelyn in general was that Evelyn was not willing to give up her fame for anything. She was not willing to give up her career for anything. And that included Celia.
Right.
Because Celia multiple times was like, I will be out with you. I want to be with you. I want to tell everyone about you. I don't care. I don't need the money, obviously. And that was a conversation when Evelyn was like, I don't have a wealthy family in Georgia, you know, like in early towards the beginning, but like even towards the end when they were like ungodly rich from being like Oscar winners and like really famous actors, like Evelyn was not willing to give up her career or the spotlight for Celia for a really long time.
Yeah. And she even says, I hated being called a lesbian, not because I thought there was anything wrong with loving a woman, mind you. No, I'd come to terms with that a long time ago. But Celia only saw things in black and white. She liked women and only women, and I liked her. And so she often denied the rest of me.
It just made me think like that, the whole erasure idea really makes me think about like people in relationships or people that are married. And I'm not talking about me because I am a lesbian, so I can't like speak from experience. But we do have friends and people close to us that have gone through experiences where they're in a lesbian relationship and then their partner comes out as trans. And so when their partner transitioned, what does that mean for his wife's sexuality?
Right.
Is his wife still a lesbian married to a man, or is his wife now heterosexual? Like what is the external, like, I don't know, like if you, like we were talking about a woman in a relationship with a woman, we're going to look at that and automatically think lesbian. Mm-hmm. We're not going to think, ooh, maybe she's bisexual. And we probably won't ask, honestly. Like that's just, we probably won't.
Yeah.
But that happens so often that like, does your sexuality change when you're within a relationship or the confines of a relationship? No, it doesn't. And that's still part of you. But having that erased in any sense of the word, it would feel like you were having part of your identity taken away.
I have quite a few friends who are bisexual. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I really started thinking of, this episode's going to come out on July 1st, but we're recording it in June during Pride Month. And Happy Pride. And I have a few friends who are bisexual who are married to men. And I think the world would look at them and not have any idea that they were queer. Yeah. And that's sad to me. And I think even our community would look at them and think, oh, well, what do they have to celebrate Pride? You know,
exactly. And
she's married to a man.
I think that that's something that our community is guilty of.
Oh, for sure.
Especially when it comes to bisexuals. Like, I don't know what it is about bisexuals, but they're just like, oh, you're with a man though, so now you have like you're more privileged than I am because I'm with a woman, so I have to fight for it. Or like people look at me in a certain way just because they're not struggling because they are like hetero presenting. I say that with air quotes. You know what I mean? Like we do it to ourselves. Like we do that within our community. I can only imagine what people outside of the community would be thinking.
And I'm like, they have every right to celebrate Pride Month just like I do. Like, get up here beside me, queen. It's our month. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Like,
and for all the husbands out there that are married to bisexual women or wives out there that are married to bisexual men and you show up and you let their freak flag fly during Pride. I love it. That is so
we love
fantastic.
a supportive ally.
Oh my God. Let's go. And that's supporting your spouse. It's part of it. Like it's loving every single part of who you're with, regardless of whether or not that includes you.
And just because you have the ability to be attracted to men and women doesn't take away from how much you love and are attracted to your spouse, whether they are a man or a woman. Yeah. And I think that was Celia's big hang up, is she was jealous, I guess.
Jealous of the fact that it wasn't just women that did it for Evelyn.
And I mean, I guess I could see that, you know, if it was another woman, it would be more of like a head-on competition. Right. But with a man, there are things about that man that Celia doesn't have, parts that she doesn't have and things that she can't do and things like that. And so I could see the jealousy, but also to just, for the entirety of them knowing each other, for her just to like not shit all over her bisexuality was, I don't know. It was a lot for me.
She also was like really hateful and awful when she got hurt.
Yeah. Celia had a real bad habit of when she got hurt or mad,
she was like a wounded
animal. Was gonna just lash out in the evilest way she could think of.
The worst way.
I will say this is one of my favorite Celia quotes because as a boob girl, I appreciate this about her.
I love a rat.
And Evelyn would use this to her advantage. Mm-hmm. And you know, if you got it,
flaunt it.
Flaunt it. She said Celia had one thing in common with almost every straight man in America. She wanted nothing more than to get her hands on my chest. And I was like, I understand it.
Yeah. Like if we were mid-argument.
and then the shirt comes off. I'm like, what were we talking about? But yeah, I just that part of Celia. That was the one thing about Celia. I liked Celia as a character overall. I loved Evelyn.
I
loved Evelyn.
And I think that she thought that she was a terrible person. Like, she said
Evelyn,
multiple times, I know that I'm a bad person. I know that I'm not good. I know that I'm not compassionate. Very, like, all the time. But
she also refused to apologize. She was like, I'd do every bit of it again. Yeah. And I respected the hell out of that.
Me too.
So, Harry Cameron, wonderful marriage.
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic. Mm-hmm. And can't last forever.
Right. Well, Evelyn and Celia break up again.
Yeah.
Which is super sad. But Evelyn stays with Harry.
Yeah.
And Harry has met someone new. Oh, John dies. John Braverman dies.
Yeah. We skipped over that whole part.
Yeah, sorry. John Braverman dies like
unexpectedly. Like a heart attack or something.
He's like 47. He's not even 50. And he has a heart attack and he passes away. And it's very sad for everybody. And Harry is just absolutely shattered. That was the love of his life.
Harry almost didn't recover.
Right. Alcoholic.
The only thing that kept him going was Connor. His daughter, Connor. Yeah.
Right. And so Celia leaves again. And for some reason it's leaving me. Like, why?
So Evelyn was doing a movie.
The movie. Okay.
She was doing a movie and she was doing it with Max Girard, who was a French director. And she had done a movie. We kind of skipped over this because it wasn't super important, but after her divorce from Don, she was kind of blacklisted in Hollywood. Yeah. And so the only acting job she could get was in France. With Max. Yeah. And he gave her a chance and she killed it. This movie was a sensation.
Because she showed 3 seconds of her boobs.
Well, no, it stopped. He was going to show her boobs and she convinced him to cut it off.
Right.
The moment she's like coming out of it's like one of those scenes where she's rising out of the water and it goes to black, like fades to black the moment you're going to see boobs.
Yeah.
And she talks about people who would watch that over and over again with the hope that they were going to get that last like 2-3 seconds of that film. But she is doing another movie with Max, and she's doing it with Don Adler, who he's sober. Mm-hmm. He's regretting all of his life choices at this point, and he's trying to make it as like a true legit actor at this point. And sober Don is a pretty good actor, apparently. Yeah. So they're doing this movie together, and they're playing a couple, and there's a sex scene.
Yeah.
And they talk as they're going through. The one thing that I will say is Don and Evelyn and most of the actors and actresses that they talk about in this movie, but I think particularly at this point, Don and Evelyn both really do put everything they can into their acting roles to make it believable. Mm-hmm. They really want to sell this. Yeah. And so part of selling this particular sex scene is it has to look like Evelyn's character wants to be fucked.
It. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's even a thing where they're like, that's going to be the scandalous like part of this movie.
What they talk about. Yeah.
That's what they're going to be talked about. That's what's going to be talked about. That's what's going to live on after
they're
this.
They're like, they have to know why she's with
this guy.
Man.
And it's because she wants to be fucked.
And he does it well. And it's passion. And you know.
And so to do that, this sex scene's going to have to look
as realistic as possible.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
But it's going to have to look like it was real.
And who better to do that than two people who were married and were in love.
Yeah. And had a very passionate marriage. Yeah. Like that was one of the things that kept Evelyn there too.
Yeah. They know how each other's bodies move. They know what it feels like to be wanted and to want the same.
When they're acting this out, they have the real life experience to draw on.
Right.
And
she said after it was over, she goes in her dressing room and cries.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because of any feelings she had for Dawn, but because she knows that this is going to kill
And she knew going into this, when she agreed to do this, she knew Celia wasn't going to like it.
Right.
And she chose to wait till after it was done, because sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Not in this case, maybe, but sometimes. But she chooses. She could go and explain herself. And Evelyn's not the type of woman to ask permission.
She's never going to ask permission.
And that is also one of the things I respect the hell out of about her. But
you should consider your partners. You should consider respect when it comes to things like that.
There could have been a conversation that happened, because everyone was going to watch this movie and be convinced that those two actors were actually
having sex
on that screen.
Yeah.
And how is that going to make Celia feel?
Yeah.
And especially knowing Celia's history with Evelyn and her attraction to men. And this was her ex.
Yeah.
And Don.
That she actually
loved. Yeah. And so she chooses not to have a preemptive conversation. Then she tries to sell it when she does have the conversation.
Like, how would you feel if
this
I
happened?
Did this?
Not it's already happened.
Yeah.
And then Celia, for a second, I think she's gonna.
She tries,
and then she fails.
Yeah,
and she can't be okay with it.
She's like, I can't be okay with it. I'm trying
She's
really
like,
hard, but I can't
know
be okay with it.
As an actress, this is what you should do in this role. I know this is what you should do for this movie. As your partner, I can't be get over it.
Yeah.
And then Evelyn has to be like, well, I already did it. And she's gone.
Yeah. Celia leaves again.
Out the door.
Yeah.
And
this time, the first time they broke up, Evelyn did not ask for forgiveness or beg or plead or
she
follow
just let her
her.
go.
She just let her go. This time, Evelyn is like, no, you're the love of my life. Goes to her hotel room, bangs on the door,
people walking by,
begging her to come back. And she's like, no, you're never going to change. You're always going to choose fame over me. And I'm not okay with that. And I'm done. Done.
And so she's still with Harry at this point when all this happens.
She gets to focus on Connor, which is fine.
Yeah, she gets to be a mom.
Harry is still mourning John for a very long time.
Very much so. So she's taking care of Harry in a lot of ways. But her and Max, the director, are still friends. And there's a spark there. He, again, is like, oh, I love Evelyn Hugo.
And
Evelyn Hugo.
He sends flowers and says, marry me. Leave him, marry me.
And she's like, but I'm with Harry. And he's like, Harry's a homosexual.
Harry's a homosexual. I know that. It's fine. I'm from France. Whatever. We don't care there.
We have those over there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But you're, like, marry me.
Marry me. Yeah. And so she does.
She talks to Harry. Really likes him. She talks to Harry, and he's like, if you think that you've got a chance at love with somebody else, then nothing has to change. Like, we can both live in our apartments. We can still have our family. Nothing has to change.
Everything's good. We can raise our daughter. Yeah. And so
because again, he's the most magical person on earth.
God.
Even through his grief, he's like, please go find love again.
I support you. I'm here for you. I'm your best friend. So she goes and she marries Max. And it is Mick Riva
2.0.
The sequel.
Yeah.
He is in love with the idea of being in love with Evelyn Hugo. Right. He is not in love with
the person.
The
actual person.
He keeps calling her Evelyn Hugo. She's like, you can just call me Evelyn.
Yeah.
And he's like, but Evelyn Hugo.
Yeah, like
how I can't do a French accent, but whatever.
No, I'm not going to try that either. But like, how will people look at me when I'm
with
on the
Evelyn
plane
Hugo.
with Evelyn Hugo? And like, let's go back to the city.
And they stay married for a little bit.
I mean, yeah, for a little bit, but
old Celia just can't stay away.
She just keeps creeping back in.
So they start writing.
That's what happens with
letters.
The love of your life, you know.
And this is probably like the most real they've been with each other, because I think at this point in her life, Evelyn's like, I don't care. I've done all the things. I've won the awards. I've got the fame. I've got all the fortune.
Yeah,
I just want to love you.
Yeah.
And so they start writing letters.
So Evelyn writes her a letter, and Celia responds with a letter, and it's just like, what did she say? It was so beautiful. She said, hearing from you feels like gasping for air after being underwater.
Yeah. Oh
my God. And she's like,
we are suckers for some romantic letters.
Give me a love letter. You know what I mean?
Every day.
Oh my God. It's so beautiful. But she's like, how did we make such a mess out of this? You know, like, even though we haven't spoken, I can still hear your voice in my head every day. You know, like, obviously the love is not diminished at all.
And then they talk on the phone. And then Evelyn, they make a date.
She's like, meet me for lunch.
Meet me for dinner.
It was dinner. And because Celia's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, you know, like, I want to see you, but I'm not sure, you know. And she's like, just dinner. It's just dinner. We're just going to have dinner. Yeah. It's fine. Like, platonic dinner.
And she has all these letters that they've exchanged at this point.
Right.
Basically talking about how much they love each other, but also being real about, like, we still have all the same issues we've always had.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's like, I want to take, they're like her prized possessions. She keeps them pristine.
Reads
they're all in the
every
envelope.
Day. Yeah.
And she's like, I'm take them with me. And no, I'm going to leave them here. I'm going to take them with me. And finally, at the last minute, she takes them out of her suitcase and she leaves them in her closet.
Right.
And she goes down
to
get in the cab to go to fly to LA to have dinner with Celia. And at the last second before she gets in the cab, she's like, no, I'm going to take the letters with me. And she goes back upstairs and stupid Max is in the closet throwing all the letters around. First of all, that broke my heart a little bit.
Yeah.
Because these were like her love letters, and he's just like tossing them around like they're
garbage.
trash.
Yeah.
And calls her a dyke. And I'm just like, ugh. And
number one, she's bisexual. Number two, fuck off.
Fuck off, guy. Like, you
get out of my shit.
You never
and
loved
fuck
her.
Off.
You loved the idea of her.
Exactly.
Get bent.
He's not even mad that she's leaving him. He's just mad that
he can't be married to Evelyn Hugo anymore.
It's like all about his fucking ego.
Yeah. And so that they're done. But
she goes to Celia.
We find out that Celia is sick. Ugh. They all chain smoked and drank and did not live the healthiest of lives. I'm sure there was lots of red meat and butter or whatever.
Sounds great. I just don't want the cigarettes. But but she has emphysema, and her doctors told her she has years to live, but not many. Yeah. And
it's going to get worse.
Yeah, it's going to get worse. And she's decided that she wants to move to Spain. And she wants Evelyn to move to Spain with her and live out the rest of her life.
And Evelyn's like, how can I do that? Everyone's going to know. And Celia's like,
marry my brother.
It's
fine.
So husband number 7. Robert Jameson, Celia's brother.
Because he knows who she is, and he knows that she's gay.
He knows Celia.
Knows that she's sick, and he accepts her for what she is. And he is manho. Yeah. He is, what's a better word for that? He's a... He's a playboy.
Yeah, he's a playboy.
He likes the ladies.
He's not going to settle down.
He's never going to settle down.
Yeah. And Celia wants some sort of settled life for him. And I think more of like she's thinking after she's gone kind of thing.
Also, if she was going to live the rest of her life with Evelyn, Evelyn's not going to be able to inherit her fortune or her finances. And so if she's married to Robert, Robert will inherit Celia's fortune.
Which means it goes
inherently means
it goes to Evelyn.
Evelyn gets, when
and
she passes away.
Again, think about being in a time where you have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Where you have to worry about what happens to me.
Yeah.
If my
partner
get sick or I get sick or...
I mean, honestly, in this atmosphere that we're in right now, I worry about that all the time.
Yeah.
Still, and I can't imagine, like, we have laws protecting us now, and then, like,
but
politics
also
are
maybe not forever.
off the wall, and I'm like, oh, and, but
anyway.
Yeah, I understand the feeling of
and
being
it was a
scared.
very smart idea. I feel like this was one of Celia's better ideas throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Was marry my brother so that you can have all of my estate and he's taken care of, you'll watch out for him.
Yeah.
When I'm gone. He can still go
do his thing.
Listen, all those little girls in that town that they moved to loved him.
Yeah. So the only problem was that Harry and Connor had to be on board.
Right.
And
the problem with Harry being on board
was that he had fallen in love
again. Oh, which we wanted for Harry. He was so heartbroken. He was so heartbroken.
Over John for years. And he
was
like,
still was drinking very heavily
but
at
better,
this point.
Gotten better.
But he had fallen in love and he could not. His new love worked in Hollywood and he couldn't ask them to move to Spain. And this was his chance at love again. And Evelyn wasn't going to deny that.
Yeah, she's like, I can't move to Spain.
I can't.
Or Harry was like, I can't move to Spain. She was like, well, if you're not going, I'm not going.
We can't go. We can't go. And good for them. Like that's support. That's love. Yeah. That's support. And so Harry had found love again, and Evelyn doesn't really say who it's with. And Evelyn is going to talk to him. She's going over there.
And Harry proposes again to have his new love marry Celia.
Right.
Like,
so
we're going to do this all
again. We're going to do the John Braverman thing all over again.
We're going to reboot. And then his new love is like, I can't do that. Yeah. My life is in Hollywood, and I'm staying here.
Yeah. And so Evelyn's going over there. She's in like a taxi cab, and the cab pulls up on a very gruesome car wreck.
Yeah.
This car is basically wrapped around a pole. And Evelyn figures out that it's Harry. And she jumps out and runs over. He's in the driver's seat. She can smell the alcohol on him. Mm-hmm. And he is in very bad shape.
Yeah.
And she looks over and the passenger
is dead.
And she's assuming that this is Harry's new love.
Yeah.
And he is now deceased.
And he was a black man.
Yeah, he was a black man. And so Evelyn, being I've got to fix everything and protect everybody's image.
Yeah.
She's like, I have to protect his image and his reputation. Gets the help of the young little taxi driver, aspiring actor, because they were talking about,
of course,
and enlists him to help reset the scene. Puts the passenger in the driver's seat. Pulls Harry out. They take him to a hospital, like anonymously, kind of, so that nobody knows that he was part of that wreck. And he ends up passing away.
Which honestly was one of my biggest heartbreaks in this entire book.
She gets to go say goodbye to him, and
I can't. Like the fact.
If you can read that scene and not get tore up, please don't ever tell me about it.
Because you're.
I worry about it.
Yeah,
but like
you're
that
dead
is
inside.
one of the. I'm not usually a crier when it comes to like books or movies. Mm-hmm. Now you give me like a compilation of like military people coming home, like reuniting with their families, and
dogs getting rescued.
Yeah, I'll just cry all day long.
Yeah.
But like books and movies don't generally get me. It takes a lot. This book over and over again.
Yeah.
Even on the reread, over and over again. And
this
I had forgotten.
That's the whole
worst.
thing. I had forgotten that Harry died, and so he just died anew over again.
Yeah, he just and he
absolutely ruined my life.
When his life is just turning back around, and he had found love,
right.
And now all of this happens. Right. So Harry dies. Connor is a mess.
Yeah, she's alcohol, drugs.
Oh, she's going crazy.
Got caught in a menage a trois, like randomly. Yeah. She's also like 14, so that scared the shit out of me.
But they're also, I think they're living in New York, where, and this time in New York, this was before New York kind of got cleaned up a little again. So
dude, I don't know. I'm like, she's at the discotheque at 14 snorting coke. What?
I mean, when you're Evelyn Hugo's daughter, I guess you can do whatever you want.
Jesus Christ.
But so Evelyn's like, I got to get her out of here. And so Celia and her are like, let's go to Spain. Now there's nothing stopping us. And they do, and she marries Robert, and Connor ends up thriving and kind of coming back around. Their relationship mends itself.
And she really loves Robert too. She sees him as a father figure.
Oh, yeah.
Not to replace Harry, but she likes him. And they get along really well.
They get along well. He loves her. I mean, I think she's the kid that he never knew that he wanted.
So he kind of got to fulfill that stepdad role, which was great.
Yeah. And Celia and her, this is probably their best time together. Yeah. Honestly. She gets sick. Like sicker they said that she would, and she ends up passing away in Evelyn's arms.
They had 10 years together.
Yeah. And I mean, I can't imagine.
I can't
either.
Even knowing it. I think knowing it, like, there's that question. If someone could tell you your future, could tell you the day that you died, would you want to know? If I knew when it was going to happen, would everything that I do be so much more substantial in my mind because I knew that there was like an expiration date? Or is it better not knowing and just trying to live every day at its fullest?
That it could end at any time, yeah.
But having an expiration date with her, like knowing that there's only years and like seeing her deteriorate and knowing that the end was near, I feel like they probably did spend the best years of their lives together. Because there were no expectations and they could be free. Yeah. And be together. And nobody was talking about them because they were in some like random seaside village in Spain.
They had achieved all their goals, all their dreams. Yeah. And this was the last one, and that was to live happily ever after together. Yeah. And they did that. Throughout all of this, again, this is Evelyn telling her life story to Monique. I do find it interesting, and we'll come full circle as to why Monique is part of this. But Monique almost to me was the other main character, but was not
fleshed
written
out
that way. Yeah. We didn't get a ton. She was going through her own divorce at that time.
Which I did not care about.
We didn't.
I hate that. I didn't care about her.
Didn't give two shits about her ex and the fact that he took her coffee table.
No.
Fuck that coffee table.
I did like her. She learns a lot from Evelyn throughout her story arc because she does learn to stand up for herself. She does learn to find her voice. She does learn to ask for the things that she deserves and that she wants. And I think that was really the whole point of their relationship, except for the twist. Yeah. That was the point of the relationship. But I think that is why Monique struggles at the end, whether or not she likes Evelyn or not, because she did learn so many positive things from her throughout their time together.
She really helped Monique realize her strength and be able to grab life and get whatever you want out of it.
Because her husband comes back and is like, let's just give this another go. I feel like we're throwing in the towel. And she's like, no, I think that divorce is the right thing. And that would not have been what she would have said if she hadn't met Evelyn.
And it turns out that he is just for the sake of not failing. It's about failure for them, not saving their marriage because they love each other, but just they don't want to admit failure.
Right.
And Evelyn taught her that that's not the case. That's not what that means. We do also find out towards the end of this, she's auctioning off the dresses with Christie's to raise money for breast cancer awareness because that's what her daughter died of. And
she loses Connor, which is awful.
Yeah. And breast cancer, as we all know, is highly hereditary. So she is also dying of breast cancer.
She just found out. Got diagnosed with breast cancer.
And that's been the catalyst for her wanting to tell this story, is because she realized that she doesn't have a lot of time left. And she wants the truth out there, like we said. She does commit to the cover story for Vivant, or however you say it.
I don't even remember now. It's like
she
Vivant.
does a photo shoot and everything. And there's a really, God, this one hit me in the feels too. During the photo shoot, Monique is watching Evelyn be in like her peak environment, right? And she says her dress is low cut, revealing her still ample cleavage. And it occurs to me that it is the very thing that made her that will be the thing to finally take her down. And I was just like, this book won't stop punching me in the gut. Like, can we not? Listen, Taylor Jenkins Reid, did you intend to destroy us with this book?
Absolutely.
Did you sit down to write a book that you're like, I'm going to decimate every person who reads this?
What human emotion can I poke at
every
today?
One of them.
Yeah.
The twist, we've talked about it.
Listen. Okay, you've listened to this whole thing. I'm going to give you a disclaimer again. If you don't want to know what
this is the last time.
This is the last time that I'm going to tell you, turn this shit off.
Stop
listening.
Stop it right now. The twist. So we've heard little snippets throughout the book that Monique has mentioned that her father passed away
when she was very young.
He
was a wonderful man. She has nothing but wonderful memories.
Yeah.
Her mother and her talk about him all the time. He's this wonderful man. He used to work at
he was a photographer.
He used to work in Hollywood, and he was a photographer, and he loved his job.
There's also, when Evelyn comes upon the car wreck that Harry was in, there was a piece of paper in Harry's jacket that she doesn't read, but she quickly pulls it out and stuffs it in like her bag or something, because again, she's trying to get rid of evidence. And that letter is from Harry's love. It's written by Harry's love to Harry, telling him that he can't go to Spain with him, and why. And it's because he will not leave his wife, and he will not leave his daughter, Monique. The man in the car, Harry's love, was Monique's father.
Dad! Oh my God.
And this whole time, Monique has thought that her father
died
driving drunk, and
which was so unlike him.
Yeah, that was out of character for him.
It was out of character, and it didn't change the way that she viewed him. I'm sure that she had some anger, like you did this.
You made this decision, and it took you away from me.
Yeah, but.
The letter that Evelyn ends up giving the letter to Monique, and Monique reads, and it has blood stains on it.
Yeah.
It has blood. It has Harry's blood stains on it.
She's kept it for like 30
and she
years.
says that she's thought about mailing it and all the different ways that she wanted to find her and give her this letter. But the letter, again, is one of the most beautiful love letters because it professes his unwavering love for Harry.
I never knew that I could love like this.
You are the love of my life.
I love you.
But I love my wife.
But I love my wife.
An amazing,
and I love my daughter,
and
I love our life
together. My wife is my best friend.
The way
Monique's mom and dad were Evelyn and Harry.
Yeah,
they were platonic soulmates in the fact that they were best friends.
Yeah,
and he even says in the letter, "I can't leave her because I would still wake up every day wanting to ask her." What she's thinking
What's
about,
on your mind, or
get her opinion on something,
or want to see her, or just be with her.
What she's doing, yeah. And he's like, I can't do that. And we have this beautiful life together, and I love that. And I love you.
I'm not going to Spain with you,
but I'm not going to leave this. And Evelyn's whole intention was wanting to make sure Monique knew how much her father loved her. And of course, she's so mad at Evelyn.
Yeah, she says, I hate you.
I hate you for...
And Evelyn says, isn't that such a great feeling? There's no confusion in that feeling.
Yeah. And Evelyn knows the whole time she's doing this, she's telling Monique, you're going to hate me at the end of this.
You're going to hate me at the end.
You're going to hate me. And Monique's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then at the end, she's like, oh yeah, I hate you.
Yeah.
But I also think I kind of like you and respect you. There's also a beautiful moment between, because Monique's mom comes to visit around the time that she finds this out. And
she does not tell her.
She does not tell her. She's not sure that she ever will tell her mom or share that letter with her mom. But she does ask her mom about her marriage to her father. And she even said her mom, I think her mom knew, at least on some level, because her mom's like, we did not have a passionate marriage.
No, yeah.
But we loved each other deeply.
He was my best friend. He was my soulmate. Like, I loved being with him.
Yeah.
You know, like he was my person.
But we did not have a passionate marriage in a traditional sense. And again, I just think that was so beautiful.
I do too. And honestly, like, that's just another example of how a relationship can be. If that is what fulfills you and you're okay with that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't
need matter if you're...
Yeah.
If your relationship, your marriage, whatever, fits a normal box of what society thinks a marriage should be, that's okay. If it works for you and your partner, then that is
nobody else can question it.
Yeah.
Like, it's nobody else's place to question
it. It is just as valid as every other relationship out there.
Absolutely.
So, and that's, I think, the biggest thing out of this book is just be your genuine, authentic self.
Yeah.
And fuck what everybody else thinks.
Yeah. I mean, Evelyn Hugo would say the same.
Yeah.
She'd agree with you.
Yeah.
100%. Well, I absolutely love this book.
Yeah. If you can't tell, we
loved it. We have talked
Yeah.
so long. I'm not going to apologize because Evelyn Hugo would not apologize.
No.
But we could continue to talk about this all night, but we're not gonna because we've kept you long enough.
Please go read this book if you haven't.
Please go read it. It's so beautiful. I'm talking to you, Courtney. You got to get past the fact.
Yeah, we're talking to you, Courtney.
There's not that much spice, I will say. There is a couple.
There's passion.
There are a couple.
There's
of
a couple
points
hot
where
points,
it's like it's like sexy, but there's not like
it's not smut.
There's
it's
no
nowhere
smut.
close to smut.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay, so if you're in it just for the smut, then this book might not be for you. But I'm telling you, you're missing out if you don't give it a chance.
Yeah,
Courtney. Everybody in Huntsville, go check out All In Books because they're fantastic.
Yeah.
We love you, Courtney. But read
this book.
Read the fucking book. But yeah, so I want to end on a quote that is at the end of the book. Yeah. I thought it was really beautiful. It's Monique talking to Evelyn, and she says, "Doesn't it bother you that your husbands have become such a headline story, so often mentioned that they have nearly eclipsed your work and yourself? That all anyone ever talks about when they talk about you are the 7 husbands of Evelyn Hugo." And her answer was quintessential Evelyn. "No," she told me, "because they are just husbands. I am Evelyn Hugo. And anyway, I think once people know the truth, they'll be much more interested in my wife."
Oh, if that's not the most Evelyn Hugo line of the entire book.
Oh,
that's so her final, good. Like, fuck you.
Yeah. Like fuck the husbands.
I think everyone's going to be much more interested in my wife.
100%. Oh, yes. Okay. Well, this book is fantastic. We love that you're all here. Thank you so much for listening to us.
Also, come back next month. We're going to read
Here We Go Again by Allison Cochran.
Yeah.
And it will be our 12th episode.
Our 1 year.
Our 1 year? That's so
We're turning
crazy. Okay. Yeah, we set out to just do 12 episodes. We were like, we're going to do a year. We're going to do 1 episode a month. And it's going to be great for an entire year. We're going to do a year. We're going to do 1 episode a month for an entire year and see how we feel about it. And I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm having a good time.
I'm feeling real good.
So if you guys aren't tired of us, we're going to keep doing this thing.
We're going to go into year 2.
So excited. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
And
we love you.
We love you. See ya.